Welcome to the Radio Underground. This is Entellus. It's just me tonight. This one will be pretty short, but I wanted to talk about a concept and something that has happened recently. The concept is crossing the ford. This is a concept that I've held pretty dearly to me throughout my whole life. Not my whole life, my whole adult life. I read a book called The Book of the Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi. I probably butchered the pronunciation of that, but anyways, I'm going to read an excerpt from the book. Crossing at a ford means, for example, crossing the sea at a strait or crossing over 100 miles of broad sea at a crossing place. I believe this crossing at a ford occurs often in a man's lifetime. It means setting sail even though your friends stay in the harbor, knowing the route, knowing the soundness of your ship and the favor of the day. When all the conditions are met and there is perhaps a favorable wind or a tailwind, then set sail. If the wind changes within a few miles of your destination, you must row across the remaining distance without sail. If you attain this spirit, it applies to everyday life. You must always think of crossing at a ford. So, what does that mean? That means that when you know what you're supposed to do, when you know what you need to do, you go do it. Even though others, your peers, may not agree with you that it is the best thing to do. If you know within your spirit that you must do something, then you must do it, even if you're alone. But that doesn't mean setting out and being rash and undisciplined. It means waiting for the right conditions, setting a time frame and a plan, charting your course, and heading out. It can be scary to leave the harbor. It can be scary to head out into the unknown of the open sea, where there's storms and other dangers that could await you. But sometimes, in order to attain the next position in life, you must leave harbor. I've applied this concept personally and come back to this book and reread this passage when I'm thinking about, for example, leaving a job or moving to a new town. So I've successfully left harbor many times in my life. And I believe that the time may be coming soon where this concept is going to have to be applied again. By the way, I have attached a copy of this book or the website where you can find it for free on the blog post on our website, theradiounderground.com. Under the blog titled Crossing the Ford, you'll find the link for this book if you want to read it. I definitely suggest reading it. It's called The Book of the Five Rings. It is a book akin to Sun Tzu's Art of War in a way. Talks about strategy and the mental concepts involved in any type of battle. So I definitely suggest it. It's a very good book. But as I was saying, so a while back, my wife and I were talking about everything going on in this world, plans and such, and we set a red line. And that red line was something we said, if this begins to happen, we will look to leave the United States. Because we had talked about it before. I had talked about leaving the United States with my wife years ago, I mean, I kind of, just for economic, I just, our country, I love the United States. I love everything it stands for, but the corruption and the just inhumanity that is apparent in a lot of places is just so blatant now. I wanted to find somewhere else. And I know the truth is that these things happen everywhere. But if you have a place that is trending towards totalitarianism, there will be places that are trending towards freedom. So even if maybe perhaps they have slightly less freedom today, but it's trending towards freedom and the momentum behind it is towards freedom, well, it's probably going to continue that way in the future. You know, an object in motion tends to stay in motion. While you have a country that is trending towards totalitarianism, it's probably going to keep going that way. And that's kind of why I was thinking about leaving. But anyways, back to the red line. So we set a red line, and we said that when families begin to be separated due to the coronavirus or the vaccine, that's going to be our red line. So Cook County, Illinois has, in this situation, if you just read the headline, you know, Cook County judge strips mother of parental rights over vaccination status. So in this case, what it is it is a divorced family, mother and father, and this is during a hearing for child support from the father for child support. So currently um, the man and the woman split custody of the kid. Well, the judge, without the father requesting this, so I kind of at first thought, well, the father probably said, well, she's not vaccinated, so um, that's a danger to the kid. No, the judge took that upon themselves to say that since she's not vaccinated, she cannot see the child anymore until she gets the vaccine. That is insane. The judge asked her why she didn't take it. She said she had bad reactions to the shot. So here's a couple things. Or she had bad reactions to vaccines in the past. If you go on Pfizer's own website and go under the Comirnaty info, it specifically states if you've had bad reactions to vaccines in the past, if you're pregnant, or if you have any allergies, you should not take Comirnaty. But all of our leaders and individuals have been weaponized to just say you must take it no matter what. Not everyone. I shouldn't use all. I apologize. But so she is now going to not be able to see her child until she gets the vaccine or she wins an appeal, which could take a long time. So, you know, where does that leave us? Um, so the judge has now set precedent for this to happen, but it could be appealed. I don't believe they'll win. She'll probably just go get it. But we'll see. I'll be happy if they appeal and they win. But things are moving very fast. They're moving much faster than I expected. And it's like a whirlwind right now. It's funny, you know, we talk about crossing the ford. So years ago, this was 3 or 4 years ago, my wife and I, we talked about moving out of the United States and moving to Australia, of all places. So thank God we didn't do that. But we thought, you know, hey, here's a place, free, you know, kind of out of the way a little bit, probably trending towards freedom. So I was wrong. So it's the question it becomes, you know, where do you even go? Where is there to go in this world? It's there's just madness happening. Splitting a family up over vaccination status is evil. It's just evil. I see things in New York, guy brought in on gun charge, 5 years in jail, or 5 years probation if you get the shot. Or see in Ohio, man, in order to get probation, you got to get the shot. So why are judges, and who put these judges in, but why are these judges giving medical advice? Giving a vaccine is a medical thing. Why is a judge giving medical advice? So everyone has their own opinion as to what's going on. Some people are willfully blind. Some people are enjoying it and want this. Everyone has a different reaction to the same info. You see the info come to you, and one person reads it one way, another person reads it another. One person reads it and says, I must go get the shot. The other person reads it and says, I definitely don't want this shot. So we're in this weird situation, and now there is increasing rhetoric against people who do not want to take this thing. And there's increasing information coming out that there are more complications related to it than they let anyone believe in the beginning. So the red line has been crossed, on my end at least. And now I must decide whether to compromise myself and make another red line, which would probably just get crossed again, or begin acting on the red line and actively begin preparing to cross the ford. Say a prayer for us, and I'm praying for all of you. May God be with you all. This has been the Radio Underground, and Entellus is out.